Historical games. Most of them are pretty awful. Let me give you an idea of a historical game that's pretty awful, okay? This one is called Name Chase, okay? You see on the front right there, you've got Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, and Marilyn Monroe. I wonder what kind of history we're going to go with this. It just says historical figures. Something tells me what by history it means America. So, how about we play a game, huh? You and me, okay? The rules are simple. I'll ask you a question. You get one guess, okay? And after you make that guess, I'll give you a first clue. That'll be worth 20 points if you get it then. There's 15 points after, and you remove 5 points for every clue I give you, basically. Up until the point where you lose because you're a dum-dum head and you couldn't figure it out from these clues. Okay, so let's start with one right now, okay? Here we go. English writer. It's worth 20 points. Where'd you guess? Come on, guess it. Okay. Oh, come on. You need another clue? No, it's not Mark Twain. No, it's not any of those things. You're wrong. Okay, here we go. His works were banned for indecency. 15 points. You just lost 5 points. Oh, you can't get that? Oh, well, that's fine. You're too stupid anyway. So here's a 10-point clue. Famous character was a gamekeeper. Still don't know? Lady Chatterley's lover? D.H. Lawrence, of course, from 1885 to 1930. How could you possibly miss that? This game is just full of that sort of stuff. Like here's one. The 20-point clue for it. All right, American politician. Guess. You're not gonna guess that. This game is just taunting you. This game is making fun of you for being too stupid to know this stuff. Like, you're not gonna know some of these things unless you study that specific point in history. There's no rhyme or reason to it either. It's got people from all across all of American history. It doesn't matter. Like, here you go. Here's another one. American author. Done. You're wrong about everything. Yeah, even that one. Especially that one. Jesus. Okay, so here's the other one. Detective mystery novel set in Santa Barbara, California. Maybe some of you know that. Maybe some of you are like, oh man, the next one, character Kinsey Malone, private detective. A is for alibi. Sue Grafton, 1940 to apparently she's not dead yet. They're all like this. They're all just the most obscure, there's no rhyme or reason to it. If you're a history major, sure, you'll be able to win more points than everybody like this, but do you want to? This game is boring. This game it's literally one of the worst games I've ever played because the whole thing, all these cards, all of these, like, come on, look at these clues. Look at this stuff. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't even, how are you going to get a specific person from American writer or American poet or American politician or American economist? How are you going to get that's Alan Greenspan from American Economist? I mean, maybe if you've never heard of any other economist and you only know Alan Greenspan, sure. Or if it's like, how are you supposed to get Mark Twain from American humorist and writer? There's almost no way to get 20 points unless you're a damn psychic or something. This game is sure historical, and sure you're going to learn a lot of boring stuff, but you're not going to know why. You're not going to know any of these things. It's like the worst kind. It's dumb, it's stupid, and it's not fun at all. But if you were going to do a game right, if you were going to make a game actually be fun, you might do something crazy. And, there's some crazy historical games out there. There's some really weird ones here. Okay? Like, this is a game that I really love. It's called Ace of Aces, all right? Ace of Aces is a really weird game, okay? I want to really stress that it's pretty wild. Basically, the whole game is you're a World War I pilot, and you're flying like an old biplane or something like that, and you're in a dogfight with somebody else. There's other modes and other things that you can do for it, but the basic game is you turn to page 170 of this thing. And when I show you this, it's pretty wild, okay? So bear with me. You have a view of the cockpit and where you can see the other plane. They have the same view in their book, and you decide to do one of these maneuvers down on the bottom. And then you see that there's numbers on each of these pages for each of these maneuvers. And they call out another maneuver. And what happens is that once you both call out the numbers, you go to what the other person called out. So if I said 161 and the other person said 73, I would turn to page 73, and they would turn to page 161. So we'd swap pages, and we'd end up at if we had done the maneuver that is suggested or that is shown, we'd end up where we should be in a three-dimensional space. It's very difficult to explain, I understand, but seriously, once you play the game and once you figure it out, it's actually pretty neat, and it's actually very interesting how well they've thought this out. I mean, you actually take damage for stuff. You see there's some shots where, oh man, you totally got him on the tail, and you did 1 damage to him, and you have so many points of damage that you can do. It's a fun, really, really, really fun game that brings air combat into a game, and it's a book, and it's weird, but it works, and it's really fun. That being said, it's not really all that historical, so you're not learning all that much, but damn as if it isn't fun. Now, if you want a game that is historical and does actually teach you some things and is also fun, you're gonna have to dig deeper. You're gonna have to go down to something that most people have never even heard of. Take one of my favorites, the 30 Years' War. It gives you 4 battles from this set of history that most people have never heard about in the 1600s, which was a war for 30 years for the German states, which were really just principalities at that point. It wasn't really a full country. It was just a bunch of, barons and burghers. It's complicated, okay? Whatever. Either way, in the sets of rules, you have these different pieces and different things are set up, and the battles are set up specifically with people who were actually there in these battles. They're actually listed there. And they're for either side and whatnot. Like, one of the interesting things you can learn from this is you see these cannons here. Those cannons, when you flip them, they're for the other side. Why is that? Because in the 1600s, cannoneers were so specialized and such an interesting mercenary that what you had was, in the battlefield, when you actually took over the artillery that the enemy had, you struck a deal with the cannoneers and you bought them. They were all mercenaries. They were all specialized. If you killed them, suddenly no cannoneer mercenaries would ever work for you again because you killed them. So then you're screwed because you don't have any cannons. That was such an important part of that history in the battle, and that's part of the game. When you actually capture the enemy's artillery, that's your artillery now. Actual history, being a part of the game, changing the rules, making something happen. Not this guess whatever decade or 100 years of America this person is from. It doesn't make sense. Like, why is George Washington in the same deck as Sue Grafton or D.H. Williams? It doesn't. Or King Kamehameha the First. It's like, sure, yes, he's part of American history, specifically Hawaii history, but who knows that except for people who live in Hawaii? And then, Dragon Ball Z enthusiasts. I mean, it's just, there's a good way to do historical games, and then there's bad ways to do historical games. I'm Sean Sullivan. This has been Off the Rails. Thank you very much. Go f*** yourself. Keep that railroad spike candy.